Hello and welcome back to another episode of Power Rangers Lore. Today we'll be discussing none other than the story of Void Queen, the main villain of Power Rangers Dino Fury. I have been wanting to do this video for a long time, with Void Queen shown up there in her beautiful costume design of a Southern Belle gone fully evil and an Eldritch Abomination mixed together. It is glorious on many levels. Now, her entire backstory has been revealed, as well as her entire story arc, all the way from Season 1 and beyond that to Season 2's ending with a climactic battle at the end of Dino Fury. Now, we have her possibly coming back as a supporting character in Cosmic Fury, but it's not exactly certain of what she will do in the future. So her main storyline right now is currently done. Let's talk about Void Queen, where she came from, and what she became, and why she did it. And why I believe that she's one of the best villains to come in recent years. Now, the story of Void Queen actually starts under another name. Mind you, she is not exactly what you originally see. We have seen villains thrown into space, come back and just want to be evil for other things, or want to conquer, or for any individual reasonings. We've never had a villain who went evil because she was driven to the point of madness because her child was taken from her and believed to be dead. I believe that is a more realistic villain on many levels of Power Rangers I've ever seen in my life. But the story of Void Queen starts with another character named Sertora and Tarek. Now, Sertora and Tarek were Rafconians that have been without a world for 65 million years, give or take. The entire species has been basically mercenaries, scavengers, so many different levels of living. Essentially, they have been forced to basically become nomads and living the life of whatever it takes to survive. Now, the two seem to be by themselves and crash land on Earth many years before the beginning of Dino Fury. Now, they were captured by humans and thrown in Area 62 and studied from that point out. Now, some type of chain of event happened, and well, the base of Area 62 was being destroyed. Now, also during that time period, Sertora and Tarek had a child and were able to keep it inside their cell. As to why they were allowed to keep it inside their cell, plot point, we're not going to ignore it too much. I know deep down that humans would have separated immediately and kept them in separate cells rather than one cell, but hey, whatever. Now, they had everything crumbling around them, and Tarek and Sertora decide, well, we have to make sure the baby survives and give it to a passing by individual who worked there and was trying to escape, who seemed to be a really more decent person than they've met in all the other times of being stuck there in this essentially prison hell. Now, they give it to him, and this guy named Pop would take it and run out, believing that those inside were killed. Well, Sertora and Tarek did not die, and they believed that everyone else was killed, and that their child had died. Rocks fell and hit Sertora in the head, knocking her down and putting her into a comatose-like state. And, well, she was basically lethargic for a long time. Now, this did not stop Tarek at all, who went about and decided to change things up here and there, and was going to find a way to revive his darling wife. He couldn't get back his kid, but he knew he could still save his wife. After many years of building his own device, scrapping, being basically a maverick, and as well as MacGyver himself, taking little scraps of bit and making the most advanced technology you could possibly imagine, he eventually does it and finds a machine to sustain her alive. However, to bring her back fully alive, he needs a stronger power source. And, well, he can't quite find, there's nothing on Earth that he can actually find, except for he remembers something about Sporix beasts, and he goes hunting for them, believing that they are on Earth. He eventually does find them and finds the whole payload of Sporix beasts, but also the Red Ranger. He, at that same time, also, prior to this, finds a morpher and allows him to become a ranger of sorts, the Void Knight, able to call upon the power of the morphing grid and make his own little special knight armor of Rafcon. Exactly where this came from is not exactly said or fully understood, it's just someone on Area 62 found it and then stored it away. Interesting. Must have been other Rafconians had come prior, or at least maybe further questions, with currently no answers. Now, he would eventually go about and release the Sporix Beast by accident. He did not want them released, he just wanted to use them to power up his machine and then get off Earth and leave with his wife. Being that Earth is basically too much for him to bear anymore, and he doesn't deserve, nor anybody else deserves to live here, but he wasn't about to go about being fully evil. Yes, he did bad things and released monsters upon the city, but only to get his certain designs done. He didn't really want certain individuals hurt drastically. He didn't send them to attack kids or anything like that. He just wanted the Sporix Beast to run out, die, and become even stronger, and then he would collect the Sporix Beast residue after that to power his machine. And to the point he didn't even really have any Sporix Beast generals besides Mucus that he just kept around because he didn't see any use for her, because she couldn't die and then come back. She was basically indestructible because she just exploded into slime. Most of his generals were actually, in fact, all robots powered by Sporix energy of some sort. Eventually, he was able to get all the energy necessary in the Sporix Beast's power to revive his beloved wife, Sertora. Now, she is immediately upset. Not the fact that he's still here, but the fact that humanity is still around. She's sitting here and contemplates and left alone. Nobody knows that she's even there, neither the Rangers nor even the Sporix Beasts that are serving Void Knight. She's plotting in the background, and she starts to believe that maybe the Sporix Beasts are her way to get vengeance. She desires vengeance against humanity for taking away what was precious from them. And at first, we don't know exactly what that is, but now we've seen Season 2, and we've fully understood that it's actually her child. Her child was taken from her, and she wants vengeance like any other wife or mother who has lost and stolen their kid at all. Tarek is basically resigned to basically go on the long path. He did not have a full time skip of memory. He lived through it all and dealt with all his emotions then and there. He was ready to leave Earth, but Sertora, no, she was not ready to leave Earth, and transformed herself using the Sporix machine that was revived her and to turn her into Void Queen, a Southern Belle-like character in design only, but with an eldritch abomination look to it as well. She was fully mad and angry at everything that humanity stood for, and she was not going to let anything stop her. Now, at first, Void Knight would agree with and work with her, and then he realized maybe she's gone too mad. She's gone far out there. She's willing to kill kids. That's something he's not even willing to do and doesn't want to, having flashbacks to his own. And he tries to stop her, only to get stopped himself, and he's forced to work with the Rangers for a little bit. Little conflict of interest there, but Void Queen quickly goes, he needs to be taken out, he's a traitor, and eventually captures him and turns him into Void King, full of anger and vengeance, the same thing that he felt, and corrupted fully by the power of the, well, Sporix Beasts themselves. As time will go on, Void Queen will eventually grow stronger and stronger and basically have all these master plans. She would look upon the Sporix Beasts as her children on many levels, and they even call her mom. Void King would basically be utterly devoted to her and would continue to serve her no matter what was asked of him. Eventually, they would work together with Lord Zed himself, who has been brought back by another Sporix Beast, and would basically make a deal with him. They would cut Earth in half. He would rule one half, they would rule another. In truth, I don't think she had any plans of ruling over Earth at any margin. Her whole plans was basically to wipe out humanity, while Lord Zed was probably just to enslave it. Depends on which one you side with, but if it was to be divided, I'd probably go on Lord Zed's path, because, you know, at least you could probably work at the ranks to prove yourself as a bad guy, while you couldn't prove anything to Void Queen, because she just hated humanity altogether. Now, she would have many master plans against the Rangers themselves, but her true master plans would come one right after the other near the end of the series. She would try to flood the entire city, killing off the people inside the main Ranger station, as well as then trying to blow it up with a thermonuclear egg hatching, essentially. Yes, a thermonuclear egg hatching with a 30-mile radius detonation. At the same time, with the Rangers being forced to deal with every Sporix Beast they fought before being revived and fighting the city, they are overtaxed and they just can't deal with this entire situation. Also, every time they defeat a Sporix Beast, it is summoned to the egg, making it even stronger and more powerful of a detonation. working to her own advantage. The city is trying to be evacuated, but they don't have enough time to do so and are forced to teleport, well, the egg into the desert. The bomb still goes off, and a new Sporix beast comes out. Essentially a giant walking mech suit right from Evangelion itself, known simply as Nemesis Beast. Wow, straight out of Nightmare Fuel there, and Evangelion callouts right there. It is essentially just a walking meat puppet, guys. It has no will of its own, and the one in the cockpit is none other than Void Queen. She's not merged with it, she's just controlling it. Like a cockpit, essentially. Like she's walking in a giant meat suit mech, straight for Evangelion. And it is powerful beyond belief, taking on all the Zords at once and not even breaking a sweat. It has no voice lines, nothing. It is straight pure power, and which she controls. Now, it takes on that and takes on the entire Rangers. They are forced to basically teleport above it, fly down, and fight on it like some Kingdom Hearts 3 battle scene, fighting it on each little platform, and it's trying to get at her, seeing her as the weak point. But they're not trying to kill her at first. Her own daughter, yes, daughter, that survived the blast, it was raised by Pop Pop, is revealed to be the Pink Ranger, and she is going to try and talk her mom out of this. She knows that she can basically convince her mom to turn away from this force of evil like she did her dad. And it's kind of sensible right there, like we will purify them with the force of family and love. Love is the strongest emotion out there, and if she knew that her daughter was alive, maybe it would turn her back to the forces of good and snap her out of this insane plan that she's having. And it truly is insane. Now, this plan inevitably fails when Amelia crawls up to her and says, "I'm your daughter," and Void Queen just looks at her and goes like, "You're lying to me. Don't make things up. You're only gonna hurt yourself," and basically kicks her off Nemesis Beast himself. Not essentially like a Spartan, but close enough. Amelia is heartbroken to see that her mom is still gone crazy, but Zato quick jumps to action and summons the Master Blade and uses its ultimate power. Yes, this ultimate weapon that is given to him by the Morphing Masters itself to give a power-up as well as a special ultimate attack that can destroy anything. However, it comes with a mighty big risk factor. It will kill the wielder who uses it. Not just like using it as a sword, but using its ultimate attack. Right then and there, that tells you something else. That is how powerful it is, and is a good little, hey, you can destroy anybody, but you might die, so take it as you go. Also, it seems to be broken after the fact, as far as I can tell. Now, he swings the sword and sacrifices himself to destroy the Nemesis Beast. However, Void Queen is able to survive and jumps out and is about to destroy the Rangers when, again, Amelia makes her plea along with Tarek. It takes a little bit, but eventually they're able to break through her cold heart and reveal that, well, Santora is still alive and can be uncorrupted. After that, the Void Queen is finally defeated, and, well, they're all back together, except for Zato, who is dead. Now, after the series has ended, it's revealed that she is having another child. Yes, Santora and Tarek have been back at it and having another child, another Ravkonian child there, but they're going to be living in Area 62 remnants and turning into an actual house for other Ravkonians who have come to the planet to help. Now, that is very interesting, and it sets up for a lot more things for the future with aliens coming to Earth now to basically get there. By the year 2025, we know that SPD is supposed to be in charge of the defense force of the planet. It is 2022 now, which means we're getting pretty close there. Maybe Cosmic Fury can have more tie-ins with that. But Santora, she gets off scot-free after this fight, and there's no police force besides the Power Rangers to really point it out there. And there's no one to really say, hey, you were the bad guy that did this. They just know Void Queen was. So, good job at covering your bases and preventing yourself from becoming a war criminal and tried for war crimes. Hey, whatever. Well, she might be called back soon because her daughter is still a Ranger. Not just for Dino Fury, but also for the next series in Cosmic Fury. So we might see her being called on for her wisdom or anything else she might know, or any other callbacks and plans that they have ever been to other different planets, such as with Tarek or with Santora's knowledge. I don't know what you guys think, but that is the story of the Void Queen, Santora. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Now, little aftershock PS is here going on there. In the Sentai version, her character is known as Madame Noir. I don't know which version you guys prefer. Madame Noir and Void Queen both sound brilliant to me, and I love them both, but I really love her entire character design, as well as as I said before, a Southern Belle looking character with that Eldritch Abomination look, like she's fully going insane. The mask is falling off, and you can see the evil ichor behind those eyes. I don't know what you guys think, but so far, she's one of the best villains so far, being introduced, falling from a normal person who just wanted to survive and be with her family, to seeing, or possibly seeing, her own child dying. And it really struck her to the point of insanity, breaking her mind until eventually she's reunited. I hate to see if whatever happens to Amelia, she would do then, go after the villain, or just turn evil back to Void Queen again. Hasn't been unseen before that they could turn back towards that power, but we don't know. We might see Void Queen one more time. Now, in the comics, we have seen Void Queen being summoned in the Forever Pink episode, essentially, of the two-part thing, where Kimberly is having an identity crisis and doesn't know what to do. So she asks for some help and gets a power-up with the metallic armor. Well, this power-up causes a little chain event in the morphing grid and causes, well, villains from the past to return. This one is none other than Void Queen is one of them, as well as Chikina and Rancic and a few others, such as Daishi. Now, they all fight against them, but eventually all the Pink Rangers from the past come and do battle against them, and, well, the Forever Pink episode is born in comic version, and Void Queen is sent packing. Now, that is the last time we've seen her so far, but I hope to see her again in the future. Maybe a callback, a memory, or maybe they called upon her dark power once again, to fight for good this time, rather than evil. Hope you guys enjoyed, and may the power protect you always. Till next time.